Six soul.
Hey Mark, how's it going?
Good. How are you?
I'm good.
That was fast. I'm going. Click, and here we are.
I know.
So,
We're gonna do the condo update because we haven't done that.
yeah, this is the halfway mark for Barrie. Let everybody know. So we took the sales of yesterday, so we got the numbers for that to go. And not surprised it decreased, but I'll let you kind of do the intro and talk about the numbers, and then we can dive a little bit deeper.
Yeah, so the sales are 50% less. There was 46 last year and only 23 this year.
Yeah, I know transactions are down, and we've seen the condo market struggling, but on April they kind of had a rebound. We had an increase in transactions.
Yes.
I'm mistaken. So again, folks, this is just the halfway point. So there's still 2 weeks to make up. There's still a lot of momentum. The market's okay, but there's just a lot more inventory than there was a few weeks ago,
Well,
right?
the other thing is, because there was a little spike in April, is it like leveling out now?
Well, it goes up and down, right? All of a sudden it goes strong for a couple of weeks or a couple of days, and then all of a sudden what happens? It gets quiet for a bit and then goes back up. It's very up and down. So, and I think we've done enough videos in the condo market, and some of these buildings that we talked about before have very high fees. And when you're talking about adding a mortgage onto that, it becomes very expensive
Oh, it
to
does. And
maintain
you
a
know what?
property.
It's funny because um here we go. Here's the numbers. So between 3 and 500, 12 sold.
Which
Now
counts.
there's not a lot in the threes anyway, right? They're more in the fours.
Yeah, there was, right? There was some though, right? Like a Bell Farm, I forget some other ones in there, but look, there's some of them. But again, some of those 3 to 5 ranges, you can get a two-bedroom, but the condo fee is $900.
I know.
So this is what continues to push people away from those cheaper amounts, price points, until you open up the condo fee and go, oh, wow, that's gonna put me back a little bit. And we know the buildings with low common fees in the community because they're 0 to 5 years old. They're cheap and
Yeah.
seem to be selling okay because of
Well, yes,
affordability.
considering like, so we have 69 actives, Mark. And so that's the highest inventory of condos, but it's also, we have 12 solds, which is the highest amount of sales.
Yeah, so hang on one second, I'll get my lovely calculator out.
I'm doing the same thing right now. Are you going to figure out the percentage?
Yeah, so 17% of the inventory is selling in that 3 to 5 range, right?
Yeah.
So what's the other 83% doing, right? And we've seen double digit triple days on market for some of these buildings that have these condo fees that are high. Allen Street, Blake Street, Bay Club's kind of high. Um, I still think the nautical one bedrooms, they're five and change, but you've got a lot of amenities there, so I don't find that expensive. Underground parking, locker, pool, hot tub, sauna, games room, gym. So not bad, but you know, it's it's tougher out there.
Yeah.
For
So, and the $500,000 to $600,000 range, which you would think isn't really, I'm that high of a range. I mean, it's still high for a condo, I guess,
yeah,
but there's 59 and only 5 sales there.
8.4% product is selling, right? So we're going to see that consistently. We've seen a lot of inventory building up both on the condo market and freehold, and which is kind of normal too for, getting started in the spring, weather's getting better, list. But, I say this every year and no different than last year, the year before, and this year's the same way too, is buyers just seem to come out a little earlier. They start looking in February, then they get kind of panicky going, oh my God, it's sold over list. We need to buy, we need to find something, we need to get onto something right away.
Well, and we the last 2 years, we have seen a bit of a jump in January and February.
Consistently, yes. Consistently. Consistently, we have,
But
right?
is that what takes away from now?
Maybe, maybe, right? I was busier back then than I am right now. Like I
Yeah.
have people getting, qualified and, we want to do this, our house is selling. And St. Catharines and we want to move up and it's going good. So, lots of things brewing and coming together, but I really, think it's a good idea to sell those properties before coming up and going house shopping and condo shopping. Because again, no one likes these conditional offers, whether the
Well,
company.
and the market's slow everywhere. I have a client in Hamilton that I bought with, and I've been watching on a couple in her area, and they've been listed for like 3 months, and they're not selling, and they're not high priced either. They're low prices. So
Yeah, and then you talk to other agents in North York who I know, and they're busier than all hell. So it just depends, right? I mean, certain areas are doing well, but I did a little exercise and we're gonna cover another video, but I'll talk about it briefly here. There's a lot of inventory throughout, just not Simcoe County, but we're talking North York too.
yeah.
And we break down the sales component to inventory, 12%, 8%, 20% selling. What's the other 80% doing? And my buddy made a good point yesterday, and we're talking, and he said, you know, some listing agents are just looking at what the neighbors got theirs listed for, or the street over somewhere, and that's what they're benchmarking the pricing on today.
I know.
I went, Gary, you're 110% right, because we see this in Innisfil more than any other community that we cover often. We see that all the time.
Yeah.
They just blend right in instead of spending a few hours and really going through listings and seeing what's listed, how many days on market, how many price changes have they had, how many terminations and relist and different strategies have they done. All the homework is done for anyone listing a new property today. Don't benchmark off what it is around the corner of similar property, because that's
No,
just not.
I actually went to a listing appointment in Innisfil a couple weeks ago, and I showed him there was really only one comparable, like true comparable. So it was his house, exact same house.
Yeah,
And it had been listed for a long time, and it had started at, I can't remember what it was, 849, and it had been going down, down, down. And
yeah,
I said to him, well, like, there's no point in going where they are because it's not selling at that point.
it's not selling. Someone else has done the homework for you. They've tested it. You got days on market. So I really believe a lot of the pricing is wrong, not so much in Barrie, but in Innisfil, the pricing's wrong on a
Yeah.
lot of things. And, we're still seeing some pricing off here in different ranges, but anyway, that's just the way it goes. Again,
So listen, at the 6 to 700 range, there was 4 sales, only 34 actives. And in Barrie, like, there's not that many, high and really expensive condos to begin with, right? They're limited. So 4 out of 34, and then 7 to 800, 1 out of 16, and then the 8 to 900, 7 active, 0 sales, 9 to 1 million, four
yeah,
active, 0 sales.
yeah,
But we finally got that one huge listing sold. There's 13 actives over 1 million, and one of them sold, and you were even shocked because it was there quite a long time, wasn't it?
yeah. And if I'm not mistaken, I think it was the Grand Cayman at Nautica, 1,884 square feet, which is a beautiful floor model. I think it sold 1.3 and change. I'm not 100%, but that's where this, I mean, it could be higher, but I saw it the other day too, and I was looking through getting this prepped up. But that unit's always in demand, right? Takes a special buyer to afford. I think the condo fees are probably 1,400 $1,400 a month, but what a unit. But this 7 to 8 to, in this, call it 7 to 9 range, you're talking a 2 bedroom in Nautica or Toronto Street, right? And
Dead.
we've covered off that range a lot, and we've seen a lot of, you know, we've gone over those details in Nautica where we've seen some, price drop in triple days on market before they sell, right? And again, I look at the inventory all the time in that building because I have people wanting a certain model and a certain view. It ain't coming up. It's just not coming up. And there was an Antigua listed. I sent it over to my folks, but again, it was the wrong view. It was north facing.
I
So you
was
had
I was gonna say, like, the problem is in those condos along the water, even in yours at Lack House, um, the view and the position in the building is like everything. So
matters.
it matters a huge amount.
Yep.
So
Yep.
if you have one with a crappy view, or some of them at Nautica, depending which building,
Yep.
both buildings, if you're on the side that faces the other building,
Mhm.
Mark, I can see into their living room, man.
I know, they're close and you can see it and I know, and then the ones that are on 33, that there's that green, marsh area, protected wetlands area, and we know there's a building going there, right? So,
Yeah, there's already a sign up, eh?
right, so there's a ton of projects coming on, but in that 8 to 9 range, back to that range, there hasn't been any new listings at Lack House, on this water side in that 1 bedroom den slash second bedroom model like I have, right? They're gone. There's some city view ones and there's some higher price point ones, but again, that buyers, takes a while to sell those units because of the price point today, and people qualify.
Well, and I think in condos downtown Barrie, like on the clients that I've had and shown, I mean, they're pretty damn particular what they want. Like most of these are retirees and they want what they want. And if they're not going to get that, then they don't sell their house. They wait.
100%. They're patient because they don't got to move. They're comfortable in their home, but if the right unit comes up and they're looking at everything, right? They're looking at parking. We almost did a deal at Nautica last year, but go get your car and try to park it in this parking spot. So they drive, got the car, bring it over. Can't, can't, has a pillar in the wall. Like, it's great if you had a moped, but you couldn't put a small car, like you couldn't do it. So then what are you going to do? Where are you going to park your car? You got to sell this unit later on down the road. This problem isn't going away.
Mm-hmm.
Right. So that unit just came off the market, didn't bother selling it, but had the right view, but the parking location was not right. So, and they had 825, they wouldn't get 825 for it today. They'd be in the mid sevens.
I don't understand why builders do that. I've shown some condos where like I know what you're saying. There's like a wall or a pillar
Yeah,
and like you can't even get in and out.
it's tough. You'd have to get out of you'd have to jump over the passenger seat to get out. You couldn't open the door because there's not enough room, right? So hard selling. And again, for structural reasons down there and the whole bit, like someone gets shafted along the way with it. But when you go to sell that unit, holy cow, there's where the struggle begins.
Well,
Right.
and even when you buy that off a developer, they say you get a parking space. So you wouldn't even have you
You
would have
don't
never dreamed that you couldn't park a proper car in it.
know. And that's the thing. And to that point, people should really look, because when you're buying off a piece of paper, you're buying a floor plan, you're buying parking, you're buying a locker, but you kind of really don't know where they are. Show me on
How
the map.
big they are. Look at your locker. You told me it's useless.
It's useless. I couldn't fit four snow tires in there. It's no good. It's like, oh, well, take the Christmas tree and all the decorations because this isn't fitting in the locker today. Moving day. There's just limited space. So, and not everybody has a locker in here, but keep in mind, it's nice to have a bit of storage space. Tires, amount of ski equipment that I have, it's in closets. We're lucky I have some decent closet space in here because if I didn't, Jesus, it'd be at your house.
Yeah.
Right. So anything else about condos? I just think we're down transactions also in the freehold, so we're not surprised with this. Let's see what the next 2 weeks. You were talking about in the market today that you saw a lot of conditionally sold, update on the Barrie Real Estate Board. So there's activity. And folks, just don't think that oh, the market's really bad, because it's not really bad. Dan had a spreadsheet we're going to cover off another video with freehold, and it's pretty flat to last year with sales and kind of pricing to it as well. We are seeing some pricing pressure in the higher ranges to come down a little bit, but that mid range is still pretty strong, right? It's just we're in that little trend right now where I just think there's still some uncertainty for a lot of people, and
No one's
now
going to do anything right now.
I just don't, not a lot of people, right? I mean, we know what's coming. Again, we anticipate a rate decrease. People say no. Well, I think it's going to. I just don't know when. June, July. People say not in June, July. They're banking off that great job reports, but it's all seasonal workers. So, and part-time positions. So time will tell. No one has that crystal ball to see what's going to happen, but we do
I
know.
wish I did.
Yeah, I wish we knew that what was going to happen, but you know, history tells us we know what's going to happen. These rates are going to come down. You know what I mean? We got a 6.1% unemployment rate in this country. US has got 3 and change. Anyway, have a great weekend.
Oh,
See,
hit the like, hit the subscribe, drop us a comment or a question.
you want that.
As Thea
Follow.
says, Mark, ring the bell.
Ring the bell. Please do. I like that one.
Yeah.
Okay, see
See
ya.
ya.